Kmart was once the biggest retailer in America. It was worth billions, had over 2,000 stores, and even Walmart looked up to it. Today, it's essentially gone. So, how did the biggest retailer in America lose everything? The story begins in 1899, when Sebastian Kresge opened a five-and-dime store in Detroit. For decades, the S.S. Kresge Company grew quietly, selling cheap goods to working-class Americans. But everything changed in 1962, when the company launched a new format store called Kmart. That same year was a strange coincidence in American retail history. In 1962, 3 discount chains opened within months of each other: Kmart, Walmart, and Target. Nobody knew it then, but these 3 companies would spend the next 60 years fighting for the soul of American shopping. Kmart won the first round, and it wasn't close. By the 1970s, Kmart was opening a new store every single day. Think about that. Every day, somewhere in America, a Kmart was being built. By 1977, the company officially renamed itself Kmart Corporation, and by the 1980s, it had become the second-largest retailer in the entire United States, trailing only Sears. Kmart stores were everywhere. Small towns, big cities, suburbs. The blue light special became a piece of American culture. When that blue light started spinning inside a Kmart, shoppers would race across the store because they knew a deal was happening right now. It was theater. It was marketing genius. Kids would grab their parents' hands and run toward the light. For a generation of Americans, that flashing blue bulb was the sound and image of a bargain. And for a while, it worked better than anything Walmart or Target was doing. But underneath the growth, Kmart had a problem. The company was expanding faster than it could manage. Store layouts were inconsistent. Some Kmarts were clean and modern. Others were run down and cluttered. Inventory systems were outdated. Shelves were sometimes empty of popular items, while stockrooms in the back sat full, simply because nobody had a system to track what was actually needed where. While Kmart was busy opening new stores, it was neglecting the stores it already had. Meanwhile, in Bentonville, Arkansas, a much smaller chain was doing something different. Walmart wasn't trying to open a store every day. Instead, Sam Walton was obsessed with one thing: efficiency. Walmart built its own trucking fleet. It built massive distribution centers. It invested early in computer systems that tracked exactly what was selling in every single store, in real time. Kmart didn't take this seriously. Why would it? Walmart was a regional chain operating mostly in small southern towns. Kmart was a national giant. But that underestimation would turn out to be the most expensive mistake in the company's history. In 1987, Kmart tried something bold to differentiate itself. It signed a deal with Martha Stewart, a rising lifestyle expert, to create an exclusive home goods line called Martha Stewart Everyday. For a while, this was actually a genius move. It brought a touch of aspiration into a store known for cheap basics. Sales of the Martha Stewart line performed well, and it gave Kmart something Walmart didn't have: a design identity. But one successful product line couldn't fix a company-wide problem. The stores themselves were still poorly maintained. Customer service was inconsistent. And behind the scenes, Kmart's supply chain was falling further behind every single year. A good product on a messy shelf, in a store with long checkout lines and outdated fixtures, could only do so much. In the late 1980s and 1990s, instead of fixing its core stores, Kmart's leadership made a fateful decision. They decided to diversify. Kmart bought Borders bookstores. It bought Sports Authority. It bought Builders Square. It bought Office Max. It even bought Payless Shoe Source. On paper, this looked like a company building an empire. In reality, it was a company losing focus. Billions of dollars that could have gone into modernizing Kmart's own stores, upgrading its supply chain, or building better technology instead went into managing a scattered collection of unrelated businesses. Executives were spending their time on shoe stores and bookstores, while the core Kmart stores kept getting older, dirtier, and less competitive. Walmart, by contrast, stayed focused. One business, one mission. Sell things cheaper than anyone else, and use technology to make that possible at massive scale. Target, the third chain born in 1962, also stayed focused, but on a different strategy entirely, positioning itself as the cheap chic option with better design and slightly higher prices. Kmart was now being squeezed from both sides. Walmart beat it on price. Target beat it on style. Kmart was stuck in the middle, without a clear identity. By 1990, Walmart had quietly passed Kmart to become the largest retailer in America. Most people didn't even notice. Kmart was still a household name, and Walmart was still seen as the smaller competitor. But the numbers told the real story. Walmart's trucks ran full. Its barcode and inventory systems kept shelves stocked in real time, and its costs kept falling. Kmart was still doing much of this manually, and every year the gap widened. Prices could only go so low before profit margins collapsed. There was also a culture problem. Kmart burned through CEO after CEO in the 1990s, each with a new turnaround plan that never took hold. Walmart, meanwhile, had Sam Walton's relentless cost-cutting culture baked in for decades. Nothing Kmart tried stuck. Its debt from years of acquisitions crushed its ability to fix the real problem. In January 2002, Kmart filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, the largest discount retailer in American history to do so at that point. Hundreds of stores closed. Tens of thousands of jobs were lost. And for many small towns, it was the only major retailer they had. The company emerged a year later, smaller and weaker. In 2005, it merged with Sears to form Sears Holdings. Not a comeback, but two weakened giants leaning on each other, driven more by real estate value than any real retail strategy. It didn't work. Over the next decade, Sears Holdings closed store after store. The blue light that once excited shoppers across America simply stopped spinning. Abandoned Kmart buildings became a strange kind of American ruin, photographed by urban explorers documenting dusty shelves and flickering signs. By 2018, Sears Holdings itself filed for bankruptcy. Today, only a handful of Kmart stores remain, tiny relics of what was once a 2,000-store empire. Kmart's downfall wasn't one decision. It was a slow, decades-long failure to adapt. While Walmart obsessed over logistics and efficiency, Kmart chased growth through acquisitions and forgot the fundamentals that made it successful. Being the biggest today means nothing if you stop improving. Walmart didn't beat Kmart with a better store. It beat Kmart with a better system, built patiently, year after year, while Kmart wasn't paying attention. Somewhere, a faded Kmart sign still stands, a ghost of what used to be the biggest retailer in the country. Empires don't usually fall in a single moment. They fall slowly, one missed opportunity at a time. And that's how the biggest retailer in America ended up losing everything.